Hi, everyone. I'm Sunny.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Rox. And this is
Literature on the Rocks.
Book Club.
Book Club.
It's hilarious because we've already done this.
Yeah. Well,
Not just on a different week. Today. 5 minutes ago.
Maybe even 15
Maybe.
minutes ago.
Maybe.
at least 15 minutes.
We
Yeah.
started our podcast and didn't record a lick of it.
And it was such good conversation.
You guys really missed out.
So sorry.
We were talking about possibly reenacting it, and we thought, you guys deserve better.
It's just, we couldn't fake it.
Yeah.
The energy wouldn't be the same. And
The amount of sexual innuendos you guys missed.
Yes.
I mean, really.
You know what? This is probably for my betterment that we didn't record that.
I was like, you need to try this again. Well, Rox has a really cool work event she did. She was telling us about. So recap.
All right. Well, to just catch everybody up, work took us on a team bonding event. We went to rage painting.
What?
Oh my God, that sounds so cool. Is there one near us?
Oh, I hope there is, because I would love to go.
I do want to ask you, there was 4 of you.
Yes.
Are you guys all in the same office?
No.
So you got to go and like hang out with that's
Partners that are not
Yeah.
around.
So one of the girls works directly in my office with me. The other one works in one of our other branches. And then one of the others is in our corporate office.
Okay.
So we all don't really get to be together that often. And so it was kind of cool that we all got to go to this seminar thing to learn and then have this day of team bonding afterwards.
I'm going to steal it. I
That's
want to do
nice.
it for my team. I think
Yeah.
that's a good idea. It does sound cool. And like you were saying, even though our listeners don't know this, you get to have a little keepsake afterwards, a souvenir of the time. What are you going to do with it?
I
painting.
think I'm gonna frame it and put it in my office.
Did anybody throw their body onto the canvas?
Yes.
Okay.
So somebody did use a body part
Oh,
to.
No, you need to be more specific.
that's... Guess what? You got sexual innuendos, people. Welcome back. Which body part was
painted.
thrust upon
she
the canvas?
sat on her canvas.
Oh,
Yes.
It was a little bit of a private part.
yeah.
But like with her
Did she have
jumpsuit
butt cheeks?
on her painting.
I guess
Yeah.
she was in a jumpsuit. So
Yeah,
you didn't
she was
have
in a
cheeks.
jumpsuit.
So
No.
she just got globos.
No, yeah, but it actually came out really cool. Like it was like a different, thing. But interestingly,
It was an
paint on her butt and then sit on it?
No, she like put a lot of paint.
Oh, and then smushed it with her boot
Yeah,
cheeks.
it was a really kind of cool idea.
Wow.
But interestingly, everybody's painting looks so vastly different, which is crazy because we're all using the exact same colors and
throwing
literally
it
using
in.
the
like
same
throwing
technique.
it all around. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
So, but everybody's came out a little different.
Oh my gosh, I want to do it.
It was so cool.
Bad. I think
really
we need
was.
a Literature on the Rocks bonding.
Yes. We just had a whole
Paint.
weekend
I
of
know,
it.
we had a whole weekend of
Yeah,
team
But
bonding.
I'll do it again.
I don't mean
that
like
only
right now today. Like, well, let's go. I know we just did, but like somewhere
In a
down
month
the
or two?
next
that.
quarter.
Yeah, we should
a
totally do it.
quarterly bonding day.
Yeah, and I think one of the other branches, they had a team thing and they went to like a pottery class where you could like throw pottery. And I thought that'd be kind of cool too.
I've always wanted to.
I did ceramics in high school, but it's been a minute.
Only 1 minute though.
Just a couple, maybe like
Little
three,
hop, skip,
45
and a jump
seconds.
away from.
3 to 5 minutes since high school.
3 to 5 minutes. Multiplied across years. Not a huge deal.
As we're going to find out in our questions, it's been more than 3 to 5 minutes.
All right. Well, I mean, that was a perfect segue into our book discussion for
Yeah.
this week. Book club. We are discussing That's What Friends Are For by Wade Rouse.
Can you give us a refresher on our ratings?
I was just about to.
Thank
yes,
you.
ma'am. So Sunny and Rox were both a Juan, and I was a 2.
I know, now I feel bad.
Let's see what the day brings.
All right, well, we'll jump into our questions. So the first 4, we always have the same exact questions for every book club we do. And then the last few are book specific, which, boy, this book club, I was like, what are the deepest questions we can
Yes.
possibly
Oh my
Yes.
God.
They are long, my
I
answers.
cried they are long as hell, and I cried writing them, and I'm like, I hope I got all the tears out because
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to come
You know
back
what?
today.
I was writing them going, fuck, I'm going to cry. I'm not crying right now, but I'm going to cry when I read it. Damn
I'm
it.
going to be super honest. At least, well, one of them I had ChatGPT rewrite so that I would hopefully feel less emotions
Take
while
some of the
reading it.
emotion
Yes.
out of it.
But I kept a lot of it in there, but we'll see how it goes. All right, so
Yeah.
our first question, like, just be prepared, everyone. Once we get to the last few
You're
questions.
going to hear,
This might be a 4-hour book club.
Yeah,
Just
right?
be
So
we're
prepared.
going to power through like we always do. But this might be one where all three of us are crying at the
Yeah.
end.
God
All
dang
right,
it.
We're ready for it.
All right, here we
Buckle
go.
up.
All right, so first impressions. What were your initial thoughts when you started reading That's What Friends Are For? Did the book meet your expectations or surprise you? So I was with Rachel when she found it in the best, cutest little bookstore I've ever been into, which is Spine and Vine in Temecula. Shout out, hey! So I thought the book sounded super cute, but really didn't have any high expectations. I think it was pretty much what I thought it would be, even though I had hoped it would suck me in and I'd love it. It did feel like a sitcom a bit, which I think was the goal. So accomplished.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. I thought this book was going to be a fun, happy book about older gay friends living their best lives in Palm Springs. There was way more religion in this book than I ever thought possible. All in all, not the book I thought it was going to be, but like Sunny said last week, I think it's going to garner a lot of discussion.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I said I knew the story was going to be about a group of friends living in Palm Springs, but beyond that, I was pretty blind. What surprised me was how many themes the book explored and how much heart it had. There were several messages throughout the story, but the one that stuck with me the most was the importance of loving the people around you wholeheartedly for who they are. It also surprised me with how witty and funny it was. While it wasn't necessarily a show-stopping, all-time favorite compared to some of the books we've read, it was a solid story with a lot of meaningful thought, themes, and discussion points woven throughout.
Nice. Agreed.
Yeah.
Unresolved questions. Were there any plot points or character arcs that you felt were left unresolved or could have been explored further? And I think the book kind of wrapped up the storylines pretty cleanly at the end. The only thing that felt unrealistic to me was Kyle being like, oh, you just threatened me this one time and now I'm going to back off of you. I felt like he had too many years in the business and was fronting the money for the production. So I don't think he would have gone quietly into the night.
Ditto. I said, the author did a good job of packaging everything up in a little bow and sending you on your way. We got to see how they landed after their major storyline and learned enough about their futures to feel satisfied, at least from my perspective at the end. I've said this before, so I'll say it again. I'm usually not the reader hunting for plot holes. If a book makes me laugh, makes me cry, still waiting on that one, and makes me care about the characters, I'm pretty willing to go along for the ride.
I like it.
Nice.
Yeah, same pretty much. Oh, my first line sounds really mean, but it's not meant to be. I said, I mean, there wasn't much of a plot, so I'm going to say no. But it was, again, the sitcom vibe is really just telling this story of life, which it absolutely did.
Yeah.
There may have been some holes in the story, but this book didn't feel like the one that every detail needed to be discussed and secure, you know, like a sitcom. You just accept that these characters are who they are and love them regardless of the deeper story.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't think about it from that perspective, like it was being written as a sitcom, but so true.
Truly,
like,
right?
It did
Yes.
feel like that as you were reading it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now having reflected on that, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like every episode just picks up in a random place and it doesn't matter
And
that
like
they're
watching
not
an
connected.
episode of Golden Girls after reading it, it was like, oh yeah, this is same vibe. There's
Yeah.
not like this crazy plot to it. It's just a
Like some stuff happens in an
Yeah.
episode and then the next, like it's not building in a season to have this magic
Right.
climax. It's just,
and leave you on a cliffhanger.
yeah, it's
Right,
just
yeah.
little spots of life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally true. Alternate ending. If you could change one thing about the ending of That's What Friends Were For, what would it be and why? I don't think I would change anything. The ending felt true to the story the author was trying to tell. Characters were able to find themselves, embrace who they were, and become more comfortable with the lives they had built. At its core, that's what the book was about. Living a life that feels authentic and meaningful and having people beside you to share it with. We got all of that in the end.
I don't think I'd change it. I felt like there was closure on pretty much all the stories. I like that Trudy was coming into her own and was sassy and took risks. I like that Teddy chose to get the surgery and that Barry didn't end up back with Kyle. I think I liked the ending, and if I really want more, I'll just watch an episode of The Golden Girls.
I said, to be honest, looking back at the ending, I remember bits and pieces. Like I remember how each story ended, but I don't remember the whole thing, which is normally not what happens to me with the books. So that might be saying something. But that being said, I would leave it as it is.
Adaptation dreams. If That's What Friends Are For were to be adapted into a movie or TV series, who would you cast in the main roles? I think this was one of the hardest ones I've ever had to cast. Because there were so many things that I felt like were hard. First of all, finding an actor that is older that is still working or still alive.
Yeah,
that was
a struggle.
hard. Someone that was gay or could play off someone who would do drag, I felt like was kind of a hard thing, especially when you added the older part
age.
of it. Like that part felt hard to me. All right, so I did Teddy, Ron, Sid, and Barry.
Same.
Should we start with Teddy?
Might as
Yes.
well. The story did.
All right, so for Teddy, I chose Nathan Lane, which is who I thought one of us was going to pick Nathan Lane for one of the characters every single.
I did.
Yes.
I did not choose him.
Oh, you did?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I did Dennis O'Hare as Teddy. I don't know. I guess they never really described him, but just the fabulosity of him walking around and swishing his caftans. I pictured a smaller framed person,
Okay.
Okay.
which is why, and I felt like Dennis O'Hare has,
Like fabulousness.
yes, and he could be sassy.
Yeah.
So I thought he would be a good fit, but
Yeah, I feel like Teddy and Ron, like with the fashion and the hair, both of them are a little bit more like fabulous.
Yes.
Oh, see, and I
Yes.
pictured him to be handsome, like an older, handsome
That was
guy.
more
Barry.
Barry.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
Maybe I mixed them up.
That's okay.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, who did you pick?
I did John Corbet.
Oh, he is a handsome man. I feel like he would have played a great John, the husband Teddy that Teddy had. That's what I imagined
This one?
his husband
This
to
photo?
look like.
Oh yeah,
Right here.
yeah.
Look how fabulous he is
Yeah.
right there.
Yes. Do you know who else I kept coming back to because I kept finding younger people and I'm like, they're not old enough? Was Leo. I was like, I feel like I should cast Leo. I found so
I
many. Like,
think
He
I
would
did
be a
see
great
one who
Leo
was a good Leo.
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he might. Yeah, he would be a good Leo. Honorable mention if we don't
Yeah.
pick him.
Okay.
Okay, so let me go back so I could see my two options. We have
Dennis
Dennis O'Hare
Nathan Lane.
and Nathan Lane.
Dennis O'Hare.
Dennis O'Hare. Okay.
Okay.
Dennis O'Hare for Teddy. I'll just do Ron next. For Ron, I picked Sean Hayes.
Oh.
See, who
Yeah.
I picked for Ron was Cheyenne Jackson.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you did Cheyenne Jackson
For Ron.
and I did Nathan Lane.
And I did Sean Hayes.
Okay.
But I was very back and forth with Nathan Lane
For
being
Ron. So let's pick Ron because you both picked Nathan Lane, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I'll just do Barry because for Barry, I picked Cheyenne Jackson. He was supposed to be young. He was supposed to be handsome. He was supposed to be, right, someone who could play like a bad guy in a movie.
Kevin Costner.
That was not what I was thinking.
The only reason why I would say no to that one was because I don't think he would be casted as Coco in Golden Girls.
Oh.
Okay, so I
Okay.
picked for Barry Stanley Tucci. Because I think he would have been casted as Coco.
I love a
Yeah.
Tooch.
Yes.
I
that
don't
walks through a
think I
door.
could see Stanley Tucci being a floozy.
That's what I mean. Like
Okay.
he's like
But Cheyenne looks like a
floozy?
floozy.
looks like a
Like
floozy.
like sleeping with a lot of people?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm going to double up on Cheyenne.
Okay, so for my Sid, I picked Wallace Shawn. Wow, this is
Oh.
Thought I also pictured him like
Life
he
and
was
he works
still
out.
handsome and like
no, he was like the most insecure and didn't do any of that.
insecure, but like
He had the flabby body when he got naked. He felt like, why does this guy like me? Because he's
But he
like,
was 80. I thought that I
Yes,
took it like
82. He's 82.
I know. I'm just saying. I took his flabbiness to be like I'm 80 and like my skin doesn't sit right.
but like
and-
I'm still kind of in shape is how I kind of pictured it. Or am I wrong?
Because he works out every day.
and
I
built.
imagine him like this awkward Jewish man who was very old, insecure, and didn't have filters and was outspoken and silly and like uncomfortable a little bit.
Okay, I could see it. I pictured him to be 80, but still could nab a 50-year-old. So he had to have some good looks to him.
Well, no, because he talks about how it wasn't about his looks. It
No,
was
I
about
know, but-
who he was as a person, and that's what I liked about him.
Who did you pick for Sid?
Definitely not gonna. I'm gonna get casted out then for this one. But I picked Ted Danson. Because he's also like 78. Like he's almost 80, I think.
So I pictured Ben Kingsley. The
Okay.
whole time we were reading, that's who I was picturing.
Oh, interesting. So between him, what was the other guy? Wallace what?
Wallace Shawn.
I think I just like Ben Kingsley better. Poor Wallace Shawn, because he is a really great actor. And
Yeah.
I think he's been in some really good stuff. Is he Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? Can't
No,
be him.
Rick
Zelensky's-
Moranis.
Oh, Rick Moranis. Yes. Okay. Oh, he also probably could be a good Sid. Similar vibes to Wallace Shawn.
And that's the vibe I feel like I picked up on. I thought he was goofy and like,
You know what? I kind of like Rick Moranis. He's a perfect blend of your two.
I do kind of like him too.
Yeah, I do like Rick
Okay,
Moranis.
let's do Rick Moranis for Sid.
Okay.
Ice Drop is Teddy is Dennis O'Hare. Ron is Nathan Lane. Barry is Cheyenne Jackson. And Sid is Rick Moranis.
We did so well casting this group.
I could see them all being best friends.
Oh, man. That's funny.
Faith through different lenses. Many characters.
Here we go.
Yeah. Buckle up.
All right.
This is
here
where
we
it
go.
starts.
Many characters experience religion as both a refuge and a source of hurt. Did the book challenge or reinforce any of your thoughts about faith, organized religion, or spirituality? This book didn't necessarily change my thoughts about faith or organized religion, but it did reinforce some of the feelings I've carried for a long time. I grew up church adjacent. My parents weren't avid churchgoers, but I did have friends and family members who were religious and actively involved in church. So I participated, but I never truly felt like I belonged there. I was always someone who asked questions and too often those questions were met with some version of just have faith. I also struggled with some of the expectations that came with organized religion, the feeling that certain parts of yourself needed to be covered up, hidden, or made smaller to fit within the rules. Rather than feeling accepted, I often felt like I was being told who I should be or how I wasn't enough. And because of those experiences, I don't have the strongest relationship with organized religion. However, I still consider myself spiritual, and I believe that there's value in reflection, connection, hope, and finding meaning beyond ourselves. What I appreciated about the book was that it showed spirituality in something deeply personal. The characters found their own way to hold space for faith, doubt, and belief without it looking the same for everyone. I respected that because I think that many people find themselves somewhere in the middle ground, seeking connection and meaning, even if they don't feel at home with the traditional religious structures.
So I said, this question made me reflect on my own experiences more than I expected. The question itself rather than the book. I grew up attending church occasionally with my family, going through catechism, first communion, and confirmation. And looking back, it always felt like there were some conflicting themes. I think religion can provide a strong foundation for understanding morality, ethics, and community. But I also think some aspects of organized religion haven't always evolved gracefully with the times. That said, I don't necessarily see that as entirely negative. I think a lot of people today are finding their connection to faith or spirituality in ways that feel more authentic and personal to them, which wasn't always as common or accepted in previous generations. What this question really surfaced for me is something I've thought about a lot since becoming a parent. How do I want to incorporate faith or spirituality into my daughter's life? My husband and I aren't particularly active in organized religion, but we both grew up with that foundation. How do we pass along the values we appreciated while also creating space for her to develop her own authentic relationship with something bigger than herself? I don't want her to feel forced into anything, but I do want her to have a sense of connection, purpose, and belonging. And that's kind of where my thoughts landed after hearing this question.
All right. I wrote, whew, here we go. I feel like I need a trigger warning for a little bit of this tangent I'm about to go on. So be warned and buckle up. Just a reminder that this is my own personal experience. So I grew up in the church. And there are many things I love about it and many things I struggle with. I'll start by saying that Ron was the character I resonated with the most. Despite the hurt he experienced at the hands of the church, he still held on to his faith and believed there was something worth preserving. This book had a lot to say about religion, and much of it was negative. There were heartbreaking examples of physical and emotional abuse committed by people who claimed to represent God. Parents who were also church leaders inflicted real damage on these characters, and I can understand why they carry so much anger and pain. While my experiences were nowhere near as severe as those portrayed in the book, I do understand what it feels like to be hurt by the people in the church. When I was a senior in high school, I was shamed and labeled a whore within my church community. The rumors became so widespread that a boy I thought was a friend whom I met through the church called me to hang out, assuming I would just have sex with him. When I didn't, he told me he'd heard that I slept with everyone, though, and then proceeded to ask if it was because he needed to pay me. It was a pivotal moment in my life, and one that left lasting scars. So when people talk about the hypocrisy of those who preach that God is love and then turn around and spew hate, I get it. I've seen how easily people can cherry pick the parts of the Bible that support their beliefs while ignoring the parts that challenge them to show compassion, humility, and grace. Recently, I had a conversation with a friend about the Odyssey. She told me about a newer translation by a female scholar that replaced the word whore with woman in certain passages because the original Greek word wasn't nearly as derogatory as later translations made it sound. And that conversation got me thinking about religion. While many people believe that the Bible contains God's word, it also has been translated, interpreted, and taught by human beings for thousands of years. Human beings are imperfect, and that leaves plenty of room for misunderstanding, biases, and error. I say all this because I want the people who have been hurt by religion to know that I hear you. I see you. I understand why you might hate a group of people who have caused so much pain. But at the same time, I still consider myself a Christian. I'm far from perfect, but I believe everyone deserves love. To give it, to receive it, and to experience it unconditionally. I think this book did an excellent job exposing the ways religion can be weaponized. Even Ron's use of scripture to challenge Trudy's hatred felt like a reminder that many of the messages people claim the Bible teaches are often more complicated than they seem. What I wish the book had explored more was the other side of faith. The people who show up with a meal when you're grieving, the people who sit beside you in a hospital or who would give you the shirt off of their back, help you back on your feet when you have no one else to turn to, and love you through your worst moments, because those people exist too. Unfortunately, the loudest voices are often the ones spreading judgment and hate, and while the quieter voices are simply trying to love people well. This book reinforced some of my thoughts about religion, but it also made me want to call Wade Rouse and say, I'm so sorry if the church hurt you. I'm so sorry if people who claim to represent God failed you, but I promise we're not all bad. So do you want to go grab a cocktail and talk about it?
Well, I wasn't going to cry for this question, but then you went and made me cry.
Thank you for being so vulnerable.
I feel like one of the beautiful things about this platform is being able to say there's definitely shit in the world and we've been through it and you're not alone. And if I could be a shoulder to cry on, I will.
All right, looking back. So the characters spent a lot of time reflecting on who they used to be. If you could have a conversation with your 18-year-old self, what advice would you give? Man, if I knew then what I know now, I'd probably tell myself to take it easy. In a lot of ways, I've always been what people call an old soul. Even at 18, I was so focused on having everything figured out. I wanted a successful career, financial stability, a home, and a clear plan for my future. Marriage and kids weren't really on my radar yet, but I knew they would be someday. So if I could sit down with 18-year-old Rox, here's what I'd tell her. First, you're about to go through a really messy breakup. And then not long after, you're going to meet someone who will completely change your life. The love you'll feel will be exciting, overwhelming, and unlike anything you've experienced before. Enjoy it, live in it. But once you start building a life together, give each other some grace. You're both figuring things out, and eventually you will build something beautiful together. So stop stressing so much about the timeline. Because I did a lot of that. Second, stop worrying so much about what other people think. Looking back now at 38, I'm incredibly proud of the life I've built. The decisions you're making, even the messy ones, are shaping the person you'll become. Third, there are going to be some major life events that change the direction of your life. Relationships will be tested. You'll carry burdens you never imagined carrying, and there will be moments when you feel completely overwhelmed. But you're stronger and more resilient than you realize. So 20 years from now, you'll look back and see that every challenge, good and bad, helped to get you where you're supposed to be. And finally, even 20 years from now, you still won't have it all figured out.
Yeah.
Nobody does. So stop waiting for the day when everything finally makes sense. Live with passion, embrace the uncertainty, even though it's so scary. Don't waste energy on things you can't control, and pay attention to the moments that make you happy. In the end, those are the moments that are going to matter the most. It's all going to be okay, and you've got this. Whew.
This was supposed to be the fun question.
And it wasn't. It really made me reflect. And my last comment, I was like, I'm just talking to myself now.
I was say this sounds like for relevant too. Like what 58-year-old rocks, what 38-year-old rocks.
Seriously.
We still don't got our shit together, but it's really cool.
And it's kind of fun sometimes. Like, just freaking live.
Yeah. All right. So I said my last answer was a long one. So I'll try to keep this one shorter. I would tell myself that in spite of the challenges I'm going to go through, they make me the woman I am today. Although they feel so big and difficult in the moment, you will get through it and come out the other side shining brighter, understanding more, and loving deeper. Your trials are what is going to get you where you need to be. You have a job you love, a husband who sees you and loves you regardless of the crazy that you bring to the table, and an amazing kid who changes your whole world, and friends that are still by your side that you get to do life with. So even in the moments when you feel there is no hope, hold on to the fact that the light at the end of the tunnel is so much bigger and brighter than you could imagine.
That was good.
I said, this is hard to answer because I do love my life and wouldn't want to change how it panned out for me. But I would tell 18-year-old Rachel, protect your health, both mental and physical. Do and say the weird things. Find the job that brings you joy. The money will follow. Trust yourself. Good friends make all the difference. Don't worry about other people's opinions. They're very much like assholes. Everyone has one and 98% are dirty. Wash your ass, people, PSA. And you will have
White
to be...
till it's white.
White till it's white. You will have to be stronger than you've ever thought you could be. And you make it to the other side, and it was all worth it.
All right, last question, what we hide. The characters spend a lot of time hiding parts of themselves, their feelings, and their experiences. Do you think friendships are strongest when everything is out in the open, or can some secrets be justified? Which takes more courage, sharing your truth or receiving someone else's with grace? Considering we all just kind of shared some truth. I wrote, absolutely things are better when everything is out in the open. I believe secrets are toxic. While yes, there can be necessary secrets, secrets amongst friends can be felt. Just look at the release Trudy had when she came out with her deep secret. She not only gained friendship, she also started feeling more comfortable in her own skin. Even small, stupid secrets can cause damage in a friendship. I believe honesty is key. With that said, I think true honesty can be really hard. And being vulnerable or saying something that feels scary to say to a friend isn't easy, especially if you feel there's a risk that you'll lose a friend. Or worse, have your friends judge you. Saying your truth out loud is way scarier than hearing someone else's, because I'll always have grace for you guys.
I think it's a bit of both. The strongest friendships are built on honesty, grace, love, and truly knowing one another. But I don't think that means we have to know every detail of every moment someone has lived. Knowing the core of a person, who they really are, what they value, and what they've been through is what allows us to love them wholeheartedly. As for secrets, I think they can be justified if it comes from a place of processing, healing, or protecting something deeply personal. The problem isn't always the secret itself. It's when keeping it creates distance or prevents genuine connection. Having been on both sides, I think it takes courage to share your truth and to receive someone else's with grace. We've talked before about how easy it can be to unload our truths onto people. But with those that we love most, it can actually be harder. Sometimes we instinctively want to put their feelings first. We don't want to rock the boat, burden them, or shatter their peace, so we stay silent. Receiving someone's truth requires its own kind of courage. Your role isn't always to fix, advise, or even fully understand. Sometimes it's simply to listen, hold space, and love them through it. Both require vulnerability, patience, and trust. And if I'm being honest, I've had moments where I haven't handled either one of them as well as I wish I had. Part of being human, but I think the willingness to keep showing up for one another with honesty when we can and grace when it's needed is what makes friendships last. And we know what we're talking about.
This is advice.
Loving each other through our worst moments, because I know I am not an angel, and there has been some days.
You've seen some of my worst moments.
I think friendships are built over time through shared experiences, trust, honesty, compassion, and empathy. While I don't think every secret needs to be shared, I do think there's something powerful about letting people see the real version of you. The more we allow our friends into our struggles, fears, and accomplishments, the more we realize we don't have to carry everything alone. Will they fully understand every experience we have? Probably not. But that's not really the point. The right friends don't have to understand every detail. They just have to be willing to stand beside you through it. As I've gotten older, I've actually become less likely to share everything. Not because I don't trust my friends, but because I tend to process things more internally than I used to. What I do know, though, is that when I'm ready to open up, I have people in my life who will listen without judgment, and that means more than I can put into words. As for what takes more courage, I honestly think both are equally difficult. It takes courage to be vulnerable and tell someone your truth, but it also takes courage to receive someone else's truth with empathy, to resist the urge to judge, fix, or immediately offer solutions. Sometimes the greatest act of friendship is simply sitting with somebody in their pain, listening without trying to change it. Not every problem needs to be solved. Sometimes people just need a safe place to be heard, and there's a lot of love in that.
Yeah.
What an
These week arms are
emotional
heavy.
book club.
Seriously. It's so funny because I really thought, like, oh, this will be a fun one to answer.
No, Sunny's like, let me have them think of their existential crises while they write these.
Which one is going to break them emotionally and spiritually? Got
and
it.
make them question everything they've ever decided to do in life. That's the question we're going to write today.
Oh my gosh.
I really think she was out for us on these.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
I
I'm
could have
joking.
been like,
I'm
what
judging.
is your deepest, darkest secret? Please share it.
Very well selected
Oh,
book
man.
club questions. They did
Yes.
elit a lot of thought and some really great combos. So good
It
job.
did have some good conversations, and
Yes.
I love you guys. That's what friends are for.
So now that we have discussed
Oh, yeah.
our book, how are we feeling about our ratings?
I'm keeping my rating.
I'm going to keep my rating, but I will give this book club 3 shots.
Yeah, okay. Agreed. Yes.
I think I was teetering at the beginning of the book club of changing mine to a 1.
Uh-huh.
But now I'm going to leave it where it was.
You're happy with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I still feel the same. Like, the book was just meh, but I think the conversations it elicit are good and make it worth the read. All right, well, that's a wrap on this episode of Literature on the Rocks. We love spending time with That's What Friends Are For and celebrating the people who show up, stick around, and make the ride a little more fun. Next week, we're jumping into Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, a book that asks what might happen if you had the chance to live a completely different life. Make sure you're subscribed because we're here for you every Wednesday.
If this book taught us anything, it's that life doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. Sometimes all you need is a few good friends, a little sunshine, and people who love you for exactly who you are. So go ahead and rate and review the podcast. It helps us continue sharing stories that make us laugh, reflect, and occasionally cry.
Good friends change everything, and thank goodness, because life is hard and therapy is expensive. Follow at Lit on the Rocks Pod on Instagram and TikTok, and visit literatureontherocks.com.
Until next time, may you cherish the people in this universe, appreciate the path you're on, and always have a cocktail waiting at the end of the journey. Cheers!
Toodaloo!
Bye.